next guest is a strange man who makes some strange motion pictures like Pink Flamingos and Polyester. He has written a strange book entitled Crackpot. Right here it is, The Obsessions of John Waters. Folks, please welcome John Waters. Hi, John. Good to see you again. Come on over here. John, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
You spent some time, I read some things you wrote about California.
Yes, I've just been in Los Angeles again, which is...
What was the magazine? You put together a tour of L.A.
Yeah, that's in the book.
That's also in the book, yeah.
But there's even new great things to do there. I mean, did you realize that Fredericks of Hollywood opened a bra museum?
A bra museum?
Yeah, it's really good. You go and it's all like bullet bras, and you stand and look at them. It's a great experience.
What is the charge to get in there for
It's
that?
free.
Free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can just remember all the girls in high school that wore bullet bras and had mosquito bite ankles on their legs. You know, the good memories.
Yeah. What other things do you like about going to L.A.?
Well, I love the fact that everybody... Earthquakes, that's one great thing. I mean, I was in the earthquake.
The October one?
Well, the aftershock.
Yeah.
So wake up in the middle of the night. So all I did was just put on my underpants because I knew I was staying in an expensive hotel that was a landmark that if it collapsed, the press would be there filming the ruins, and I didn't want bad enough to be dead in the paper, but nude to boot, you know, it's kind of worse.
Yeah. No, that's ugly. You can't tolerate that.
No.
You want to talk about the new movie?
Well,
I understand this now.
There's a lot to hate in L.A. too. You know?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I jump the gun?
Well, if I'm going to say love, I got to say hate at the same time.
What do you hate about L.A.?
Well, I hate the fact that everybody's in the business. You know, I
hate that about it myself.
I long for a conversation with a waitress that hadn't been in 3 Sam Shepard plays.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's also the no smoking capital of the world, and I know you're a non-smoker. I'm more than a heavy smoker. I am a cigarette, and basically,
I am a cigarette.
So when you fly there are no smoking seats anymore. You're going to sit in the last row next to the bathroom and make small talk with the internationally, you know, incontinent. You know, so it's you just sit there and you have no choice but that.
Yeah.
You know, I went to visit a friend in jail and they said, "I'm sorry, you can't
wait a minute.
smoke here anymore."
Hold it right there.
What?
Hold it right there.
Yeah.
You went to visit a friend in jail.
Yeah. Don't you have any friends in jail?
No.
Oh, I don't trust anybody that hadn't been in jail at least once in their life.
Is this something ugly or?
No, it's not something I want to talk about. It's a personal thing. But I actually got
right,
there.
let's just keep moving.
Yeah, I got there and you know, I love to smoke a cigarette. In jail, it's like having a tattoo. You want to do it, you know. And I got there and they said suddenly that you couldn't smoke anymore in jail. I thought, what, the jail's gone yuppie even? You know.
How long will your friend be incarcerated?
Oh, life.
So more than a traffic violation, I'm guessing.
Well, everybody has a bad night.
Yeah, God. Yikes. We'll do a commercial and be back here with John Waters. So the neighbor's dog comes over last night, takes a dump on the carpet.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Subject I can never escape.
No. Let's talk about the new movie now.
Okay.
Now, I think this would be great. They're calling this John Waters' crossover film. This is your breakthrough into mainstream
Well, who knows?
cinema.
It's certainly... The only shocking thing I can do is make a PG movie, which it is. It's called Hairspray, and it comes out in February. It's about... It takes place in 1962 Baltimore when kids couldn't decide whether they wanted to dance their lives away to these gimmick dances like the bug. Have you ever seen that when you get a disease and you go like that and then on a beat you throw it to the other person and then they have it? Or kill that roach where you go squish, squash, and then you spray your partner. These are real dances. Or throw caution to the wind and join the integration movement that had started at the time.
So this is the plot of the movie.
It's a civil rights comedy, yeah. And, but it stars, you know, we have a great cast. Of course, Divine, who plays a woman and a man. We have Sonny Bono's in it. And, you know, you can't imagine the thrill of waking up every day and having Sonny Bono in your life. I mean...
Well, he's a fairly funny fellow, isn't he?
Well, I think he's great. Yeah. No casting agents say, get me a Sonny Bono type, you get Sonny Bono.
That's right.
And he's running for mayor, which I would vote for him in a minute. Imagine the thrill of going into a voting booth and pulling the politically correct Bono lever. I mean...
Now, has that election taken place? Did that happen?
No, it's coming up.
It's coming
maybe the film will help him.
This is for Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Debbie Harry?
Debbie Harry, Pia Zadora.
Yeah.
And she was great. She thought the slums of Baltimore was a set we had built. And I said, no, Pia, these are people's homes. And she said, oh.
God.
But Pia was a great sport.
Yeah.
Great. Rick Ocasek from The Cars are in it.
Now, is this a big budget deal?
For me, I knew it was a big budget the day it rained, and somebody handed me a new raincoat, and I thought, ooh, we have a big budget this time. It was $2.5 million for me. That's
$2.5 million, yeah.
Like Cleopatra budget.
Yeah,
right?
but still, by Hollywood standards, I guess $2.5 million is just a spit in the bucket.
Yeah.
So, but you're accustomed to working literally like 30, 40,000. You get a feature film out of it, right?
Polyester was 300,000.
300,000.
This one cost a lot more, but there's 1,100 people in it.
Yeah.
And it was Screen Actors Guild, so it was hard to do.
I think it would be great if this movie turns out to be the runaway hit of the decade.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Great, then I can finally, maybe finance the movie I want to make, the Don Knotts story starring me,
Nice to see you, John. Good luck to you. We'll be back. Thank you, Eva. Nice job. I have a program reminder. You brought up Sonny Bono in your film. Sonny Bono will be on this show Friday night with his former wife, Cher.
Oh, that ought to be interesting.
Sonny and Cher. My thanks to Tom Snyder, Tanya Abbey, and, of course, John Waters.
Join Dave tomorrow on an all-new late night with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Well, good night. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. What's going on? What's all this running around? Huh? What? You got a what? What? Hey, who are you? What is this? Now, wait a minute. Somebody explain this to me. Can we see Hal punch up live at 5? John Waters is supposed to be our first guest. He's at live at 5, and they're in their late inning stall, I think. So how much time do I have to kill out here, Hal?
35 seconds.
35 seconds. How you doing, Paul?
Well, I'm just fine, Dave. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Nice to see you today.
Did you see Ozzie and Harriet last night?
I didn't see it. What
I'm
happened?
telling you, this is a great show. You don't get it here in New York, do you?
No, I don't think we do. But of course I remember it very, very clearly.
Yeah,
from my
very
childhood.
entertaining show. Now what, huh?
So,
he collapsed in the hall? Oh, my God. He is ready. All right, I'll talk to you a little bit later,
okay,
Paul.
we'll get back to this.
Another one of those practice shows we do from time to time. Now what do you want? What? No, come here. Well, what are you doing out here then? Come here. Hey, Gaines, come here. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Where'd she go? Back into her little burrow. What? What? Our first guest is a very funny and strange author, actor, and director. His films include Pink Flamingos, Polyester, and the current hit Hairspray. Folks, please say hello to our old friend John Waters. John, come on out. John, nice to see you. I don't know. This is pretty stupid. This is like open house when you were in school and your parents would just go down the hall from room to room visiting teachers.
Know.
You're right across the hall doing an interview. How was that?
Oh, I feel like Don Ho at the height of his career.
What did Sue Simmons ask you over there?
I forget, because I can never remember what I say when I'm on television. It's like you're in this sort of weird situation. You come off, and it's, who knows?
Yeah, you never have any real perspective on what takes place, do you?
No.
So the film Hairspray, which we've been talking about for at least the last 2 times you were on the show.
Right. No, just the last time.
Last time. All right, it's out now, and it opened in Baltimore. How was the big opening?
The world premiere was great. You know, it was live on television there. The governor proclaimed it John Waters Week.
Right.
But I was never home. I was on the tour, so I wanted to, you know, wear my imperial margarine crown and clomp around the apartment giving orders.
Yeah.
But it was fun. A lot of the stars came. It was exciting night. A real movie premiere. They don't have them anymore.
Now, as I recall some of your earlier films, at one point you had a struggle with the local film review board
yeah,
there.
but they got rid of her a long time ago.
Yeah.
She's not there. Even the Baltimore Museum of Art let us have the hair hopper ball afterwards. You know, my film is about hair hoppers.
No, I didn't know that.
Well,
I don't know what hair hoppers are.
A hair hopper is basically someone that pays too much attention to their hair. There's even hair hoppers in the 80s.
Right.
I mean, Cher is the ultimate celebrity hair hopper.
She really goes nuts on her hair.
Yeah. And people on soap operas, by definition, are hair hoppers.
They always have really big hair on soap operas. Don't they?
Well, that's a good look, I think, teased hair. You know, I hope it comes back.
Right. So it's not really a holdover from the 50s. It's an ongoing.
Well, the hair hopper term came out because they had such big hairdos. They called them hair hoppers. But the hair hopper is a state of mind. We still have them today.
Yeah. And there was the dance you alluded to. Was that a big hit?
Which dance?
You said Hair Hopper's Ball.
Oh, the ball.
Did I
That was after the premiere. Oh, it was great. You know, especially in the museum around, you know, all these old masters.
Do we have a clip of this film?
Yeah, I think.
Do we have it, or did he leave it across the hall?
No. It's a different clip.
Okay, so this is it. Now, this is, people are saying that this is your, and forgive me if you're offended by this, your first sort of crossover film, your first sort of mainstream.
I'm not offended by that.
Although Polyester was pretty much
Polyester was rated R. You know, my films are about surprising people, so I was amazed when I got a PG rating, too. I wanted to put in the ads, bring the whole family. But you're not allowed to do that.
Now who all is in the film?
All the real movie stars, you know, Debbie Harry, Divine, who plays 2 roles, Sonny Bono, Pia Zadora, Rick Ocasek, Ruth Brown, Jerry Stiller.
And on and on and on.
Oh, yes.
And are you in the film as well?
Oh, yes. I play an evil psychiatrist who shocks girls with electric cattle prods.
Now this is a PG film. There's no...
PG was never like this, right. And, you know, Screen Actors Guild has given me all this trouble because they say, you can't be John Waters because there already is one. So I'm screaming, well, what am I, Pinky Lee now? I mean, what should I call myself?
Well, now, who's the other John Waters?
He's an Australian actor.
You mean that you can only have one John Waters in the world working in films?
Why do you think they hire me? The same reason I hired Sonny Bono. I mean, same reason. I just made this other new movie with Whoopi Goldberg. I know my mustache gets me the parts. I'm typecast already.
Now, let me ask you about the mustache.
Oh, you have before.
No, I don't think I ever have before. Now, you're just drawing that on there, aren't you?
No. Would you like to feel it?
No, I'm not feeling anything.
It's there.
But you're
when I miss, when I'm shaving, you know, fill it in. I'm in show business.
But that's just magic marker, isn't it?
No, I wish that's a good idea, though.
No, now you're drawing something on your lip, aren't you?
Feel it.
I'm not going to feel it. What do we do? Let's look at the clip now. Now, does that embarrass you to talk about? All right, here we go. Let's take a look at a scene here from... Oh, should we set it up?
Tracy Turnblad.
Too late.
Welcome to the hefty hideaway house of fashion for the ample woman. Hi, I'm Mr. Pinky.
Hi.
Mr. Pinky, I'm Tracy's business manager, Edna Turnblad.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet the both of you. Here we cater to the big bone gals like yourself who are stylish and at the same time frustrated by the lack of sizes in the department stores today. I saw you on TV. I want you to be my model.
Would she be paid for this?
One free outfit a month. You start tomorrow. I hope there's no diets in the works because I want to design your Miss Otto Show coronation gown myself.
Could you throw in a pair of complimentary petty pants in the deal?
You drive a hard bargain, Miss Edna, and rightfully so. Petty pants, panty girdle. You just let Tracy take her pick.
How about a fabulous frock just for me?
Tracy will have to work one extra day for free.
It's a deal. Thank you, Mr. Pinky.
I'm going to make you a star.
All right, so it looks very funny. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to explain it. We'll do a commercial and we'll come back and then you can explain it. We'll talk about anything else you want to talk about. We'll be right back here with John Waters. Back here with John Waters. Now, what did we see in the film? It looked very funny, whatever it was.
That's the hefty hideaway, which is, and Divine plays a sort of hillbilly mom that has a daughter that wants to be on this dance show, and she becomes very popular on it, and he hires her to be a model for Fat Girl Fashions on the television show.
Has Divine been in every one of your films?
Yeah, every one but one.
Which one was that?
Desperate Living.
I see. Now, the movie is getting great reviews, and with it, you're becoming a celebrity more so than you even were before.
Well, it's hard. Yeah, we got great great reviews in Time and Newsweek and a lot of good ones. But to be a celebrity today, I think you have to have a medical problem, which makes me nervous. I mean, you've seen this fat guy that weighs 1,400 pounds on television that can't go out of the house.
I believe he lives out on Long Island.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I saw him, and all he just has a bad hairdo. If he'd get his hair changed and eat a pie, he'd be fine. You know, I don't understand why he can't realize the problem. Liz Taylor's the same, you know.
Is that right?
Did you see her on People magazine
No,
pushing her book, and her headline, and she had to approve it, was, "I thought I would explode." Imagine if she did. You know, she was at a premiere, and all of a sudden you hear bang, and whoa, you got like day-old pepperoni at you and everything. You know, it would be a great movie scene.
Day-old pepperoni.
Well, if she exploded, I mean,
sure.
she said it, I didn't. And even, you know, now they're talking about Reagan's colon operation. I refused to go up inside Reagan. You know how they have that on the news? You know, it's like a Sika movie or something. I don't want to know that.
What if you hadn't gone into this form of expression, films and writing, what would have become of you, do you think?
Oh, I don't know. I would like to have been a crime reporter, sort of like Edna Buchanan, who is my idol. You know?
She was here.
Was she?
Yeah, last week.
She says one thing I disagree with in her book, that if you're a crime reporter, you can't have a relationship with anybody. And she doesn't realize that car accidents and fires are the best place to pick up people.
Really?
Yeah, you should try it. You know, I ask people at dates all the time at disasters, would you like to have dinner? And they always say, oh, sure. You know, it really works.
Because they're probably a little in shock. And
well, no, they're like you. They stop, too.
I see.
There's something the matter with both of you. So it makes for a nice dinner companion.
But you have made it kind of it's more than a hobby. It's, I don't want to say obsession, but you do travel to various venues where there are really dramatic major
because it's the only theater that I really like. And I've written a lot about it in my books and stuff, and I taught in prison, that whole bit. But this movie, I made a prison movie already, Female Trouble. You know, I don't want to use that subject again. This one is more a dance movie. I never made a musical.
What is the budget for this film?
About $2.5 million.
$2.5 million. So still, by Hollywood show business standards, this is a really, it's just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, the music rights were 400 and some thousand out of that. So, and there's 1,100 people in it. So,
so if this thing becomes a runaway hit, then people are just going to start throwing money at you, aren't they?
It'd be like Liz Taylor, bang. It would be nice. I'd get to make a movie quicker, certainly.
Yeah. Do you think you could make a movie? Say somebody gave you what, $12 million to make a movie. Could you make a? Would you want to make a $12 million?
Sure, I'd hire bigger and bigger stars. Right. You know, I mean, my ultimate fantasy would have every crowd scene be a star. You go, oh look, there's Joey Heatherton, Connie Francis. You know, every single person on the street was a star.
But isn't there a certain look that you almost are forced to put on the screen because of the budget when you're talking about $2.5 million?
Well, with this, I wanted it to look like a real movie that took place in 1962. Ultimately, I wanted this movie to look like a bad Elvis Presley movie, like it happened at the World's Fair or one of them.
Where the color is always a little too bright.
Yeah, I love garish color, I'm not interested in reality, obviously.
So, anyway, this thing, Hairspray, opens nationwide on Friday. Well, gee, I hope it's a huge hit for you. I think that'd be really, really neat. And, Friday it opens. Anyway, John, nice to see you. Thanks for dropping by. Hey, you have to run to the nightly news, I think. We'll be right back here. We'll introduce Identification. Back to the show. John Waters is here, Joan Cusack, and Robert Palmer. And then there was the time, Paul, around the holiday season, I believe, I paid for Bridget Jackson's entire family to have their teeth cleaned.
I remember that.
No questions asked. She just came to me and she said, can I have $4,600 so my parents can have their teeth cleaned? I said, sure. Here you go.
Absolutely.
And now what do I get tonight? Christmas Eve of all nights. Nothing.
Nothing. I can't explain it. She's such a darling, darling girl. Once they get married, though.
She is married. Oh, you say once they get married. I thought you said she.
You know, they get married. 4 years later, they're back on the scene. So.
That's an interesting theory, Paul. I'd like to hear more about this. 4 years, and then they're back on the scene.
Back, yeah.
what a very loving, sweet, enlightened sentiment.
Thank you.
To kick off the holiday season with here.
Merry Christmas.
4 years, Paul, and then back on the scene.
That's what I find, anyway. I don't know.
Our first guest tonight is responsible for some of the most tasteless moments in American films, so it's inevitable that we should invite him back here again and again. His new book is entitled Trash Trio. It's right here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Waters. Nice to see you. You're originally from Baltimore.
Oh, yes, I still live there.
Still make your home there?
Yeah.
Do you celebrate I know this is going to be an odd question to ask of you, but do you celebrate a traditional kind of Christmas there?
I'm very traditional. I've always had a fantasy of what I'd like to do every Christmas. Maybe I'll do it this year, is to get my favorite third world criminal friends and go Christmas caroling to a really white bread neighborhood. And when they knock on the door and answer, you know, go, "Oh, holy night." You know, what can they do? You know, it's not illegal to do that, basically.
Do you have a lot of third world criminal friends?
No, a few, though. I like to have varied friends.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to ask you about this again.
Okay.
The mustache. That's a real...
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, but
yeah.
It's real, or you've just drawn it on there?
No, haven't you... We're in show business. Dave, haven't you ever heard of style?
Yeah, well, I grant you that it has a certain style.
Sure.
But...
When I'm old, I'm going to make it blue, you know, to be more subtle.
But is there actual hair growing
I ask you
there?
to feel it every time.
I'm not going to touch it.
And every time now, because of you asking that, every college I go to now, they all come up and touch me, so I have chafed mustache afterwards because you won't do it.
But the only reason I brought it up again tonight, it seems to be in a different location from the last time we saw it.
Well, no, I think it's the same, pretty much. It's there. You can feel
I
it,
don't
I'm
want
telling
any
you.
part of it.
For Christmas?
No. Anyway, to matters of current events, what about the elections? Are you politically active?
Well, I vote always. You know, I've voted in every presidential election since I've been 21. I've never voted for the winner. But the thing that I like the most this year that happened with politics, when I was in Europe promoting Hairspray, and they showed this clip over and over when Bush had this press conference, and he made a mistake, and he was trying to say, Reagan and I have had some success. And he said, Reagan and I have had some sex.
Right.
And everybody froze, you know, and I was really disappointed in the American press because there was no follow-up questions. You know, who was on top? What does it say? You know. But in Europe, they showed it over and over. Here they just kind of
They thought that was great fun in Europe.
Well, yeah.
Are you... so I guess you answered my next question. You say you've never voted for a winner.
No.
So you're not particularly pleased with the outcome of this election, I guess.
Well, I wanted none of the above, basically, you know. But I don't care, you know. It's... who knows? I mean, I didn't vote for him. No, any politician...
Have you ever been invited to the White House under any circumstances?
We did that. I went on the White House before.
Is that right?
Yeah. And,
But who invited you?
Oh, I can't tell that. You know, he might get fired.
No, somebody in a current administration or a recent administration?
Yeah. And I went, and he was a fan of exploitation films.
Oh, but this was not to come to the state dinner and meet the president of...
No. It was like sneaking over somebody's house when they're babysitting.
Yeah. What was your impression of this?
It was nice. I mean, the meal was good. I got cufflinks. You know, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was a good sit.
All right. We have to do a commercial here. It occurs to me we have one candle left back there. We'll take care of that in a minute. We'll be back here with John Waters. And then there was a time I paid for beauty and fashion makeovers for her family. Do you remember that, Paul?
I do, exactly. I remember.
And what do I get? Snubbed.
Why is she so mean to you?
I don't know.
4 years.
The movie Hairspray. Now, how much did that cost to make?
Oh, that cost about $2.7 million.
$2.7 million, which to me is a lot of money, but compared to what commercial films these days cost, it's nothing.
Right.
And I'm guessing probably 10 times what you spent on all your previous films together.
The ones in the book are all my old pre-respectable scripts.
Oh, that's what this is. These
yeah.
are the three scripts in this book.
Well, one is Pink Flamingos, which is the most notorious thing. It takes place in a trailer park. You know, I'm convinced that God hates trailer parks. He always sends tornadoes to them first. And also, the sequel is in there to that, which we never made, Flamingos Forever.
Oh, Flamingos Forever.
Yeah,
now, that never got produced.
No, they said it was too disgusting. I thought it was sweet, but who knows, you know?
So either disgusting or sweet, perhaps somewhere in the middle was a film.
What's disgusting to me is this tabloid TV. You know, I don't mind the subject matter. I mean, mutant housewives who become communists and want to talk about autoerotic fatalities is fine, you know? But like Geraldo comes out and tisk it. I think he should come out and say, this is great, we got sex, violence, aren't you glad you don't have these people's problems, you know?
Yeah.
Did you see The Devil Show?
No.
Well,
no,
I don't mind.
That was right here on NBC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have friends
We were all
that
very proud of that show.
Well, you know, I have friends that have teenagers, and they come over to my house, and we listen to records backwards, and the devil talks to us. That's fun, you know? But his show on violence...
Harmless communication with the devil can be fun.
It's better than listening to the music
Exactly.
forward. But his violence show was the worst, because he had, like, a grief peanut gallery, you know, where victims of crime, and he had grief bites instead of sound bites. He'd go over and say, is it true your whole family was hacked to pieces with a chainsaw at your Thanksgiving dinner? They'd say, yes, thank you. He'd go on to the next one, you know. And he was interviewing Manson. He said, like, you dog, do you want me to, are you going to kill me, Charlie? And I felt like I could hear all America yelling to their TV, we will, you know. But I don't know, it's given rise to new celebrities that I like Patty Hearst is back on the circuit,
Right,
you know,
right.
and I got
Asking for a pardon, I believe.
well,
isn't
yeah,
it?
and I had dinner with her, and I saw the movie. I liked very, very much, but it's hard. At Cannes Film Festival, there was a dinner after the film. You've watched her be abused for an hour and a half. What do you say to her at dinner? You know, I love the part where you were raped, you know, past the poo-poo platter. I mean, it was, it was difficult, you know. You know, John Wayne Gacy's wife is on all the shows now. Have you seen?
No, I didn't realize he was married.
I mean, his girlfriend.
His girlfriend, yeah.
I don't like him. He was the worst dressed mass murderer we had. You know, he's sitting in his cell wearing white after Labor Day at this moment. But his girlfriend I kind of like, because she has a hairdo from hell. Have you seen her?
No,
And-
I don't know
yeah.
these people. I
And
know of them.
She's on all the shows, and she goes on for no reason, so the housewife in the audience can say, you scum, to her, you know. And she says, sister, if you had to go through what I had, you'd be scum, too. And you wonder, that's her job.
It's therapeutic then for the home viewer. It's cathartic. It's by comparison, we're not doing so bad as what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
Okay, good enough. And the book is Trash Trio.
Right.
And again, these are the printed scripts of 2 of your films and 1 that was not produced.
One that won abortion.
Yeah. Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Bye-bye.
John Waters, ladies and gentlemen. I'll introduce station identification. We'll be right back. Our next guest drops by the program here whenever he doesn't have something to plug. However, tonight he does have something to plug. It's his brand new motion picture, which he wrote and directed, and it's just opened coast to coast. It's called Crybaby. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the always talented, always peculiar John Waters. John? It's an interesting world, isn't it?
Oh, yes. An ironic world,
If
certainly.
we think about you and your success in the cinema, you started out making these exploitation kind of home movie kind
Trash
of
epics.
Yeah, and I can remember the one, Pink Flamingos.
Right.
There's just something.
No one will ever forget it.
There's just something horrible in that film.
Yes, there is. You know,
Something
and it's
so
curious.
repellent.
When on this tour for the movie, the only people that bring that up are housewife morning shows. They want to talk about it now, which I find so peculiar.
But it is interesting that you've gone from that point on the compass all the way around to where you can go into a studio in Los Angeles and have them turn loose with 8-10 million so you can make a real theatrical release
Well, it's a
film.
pro-juvenile delinquent movie that's playing everywhere. I find that even more devious than Pink Flamingos, basically.
Now, would this play as a companion piece to Hairspray? Is this the same era?
Well, I think it's a little different. It's about juvenile delinquents in 1954. And I love juvenile delinquents. They're touching. We don't have them anymore. Now we have 13-year-old serial killers, you know? And juvenile delinquents were sexy. You know, girls that wore bullet bras and boys that just stood on the corner and spit all day, you know?
So what you're saying is then they were not as bad as we thought they were.
No, you'd be glad if the police called and you had a kid today and they said you've been stealing hubcaps. You'd think, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true. You know who was here? I guess you do know, Ricky Lake.
Oh, Ricky Lake,
She was in Hairspray
Crybaby,
and is also in this one. She's a very nice woman.
Yeah, she's very good. She plays Johnny Depp's pregnant sister who loves being all knocked up.
Let's talk about the cast. You have Ricky Lake, and you mentioned Johnny Depp.
We have Johnny Depp, who's...
This is like 21 Jump Street
Well,
Johnny
yeah,
Depp.
he is a teen idol, but I think he's a very good actor, Johnny, and I think he was brave to make this movie to make fun of that image. He's embarrassed about being a teen idol, but I was shocked. You go out on the street with him, and girls are like running backwards, weeping. When we made the movie...
No, they're not, are
Yes,
they?
the girls offered the Teamsters on the set money to buy his sewage from his trailer.
Oh,
I'm not kidding.
now, there you go. You're
No,
right
well,
back in that stuff again.
But I tell you, I told him next time you have the flu, tell me, we'll open up a store, you know.
All right, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Ricky
Tracy
Lake.
Lords, Patricia
Tracy
Hearst.
Lords. Now, she used to make, or maybe she still does, I don't know.
No, she still doesn't.
She used to make
definitely
X-rated films, right?
No, she
Porno
used to,
films,
yeah.
Pornographic films.
Yeah, but that was a long time ago. And if
How long ago was it?
Well, when she was 15. But look,
How old is she now?
21. If we think of every
When
person...
she was 15?
Well, at least she got it over with early, you know. Be honest.
Yeah, I know.
Wait.
Most girls go through that stage a little later.
Very, very sweet, you know, and it's not a funny story what happened to her.
Well, no, no.
But if we think of every person we slept with on a bad night, if everybody knew about it, we'd all be in trouble, right?
I don't know. You've lost me.
Come on.
When I was 15, I had a paper route. That's all I'll say.
Well, you see, I don't know. I like kids who are bad when they were young.
Tracy Lords, all right.
Patricia Hearst.
So you're helping Patricia Hearst. Now,
Yeah.
again.
Why didn't everybody ask Patricia Hearst to be in a movie? I don't understand.
Now, this is interesting because I know for a fact that when she was, they found her after she resurfaced and was apprehended and was on trial, you went and sat in the courtroom during
Yes,
that
I was
procedure.
her groupie, Patty Hearst groupie, yeah. But she knows I'm a safe fan, and she gave me something I've been saving for this show to show you that I've never told anybody. And I asked her permission to do this. During the making of the film, she said, John, I have something you might be interested in. And I said, what? And she said, well, would you like the glasses I had on when I was arrested? And I thought, oh, my God, it's like somebody offered me the ruby slippers. And so I brought them with me. They're magic. Now, I've never tried them on because I know that I would spontaneously combust from excitement. And you know what that is when you're so excited you blow up and just leave your shoes in ashes. That's why you have to have good shoes. But
what year was she abducted?
Oh, I don't know. Like, this was a long time ago.
Early 70s.
And she never asked to be famous, so now she is, so why not have some fun with it? You want to try them on and be a legend?
No, I don't want to try them on. But now, this is interesting.
See, viewers can look through them, and I'll
ahead,
hypnotize
put 'em on,
them.
John.
Oh, I would never. I'd blow up.
Really?
No,
well,
no.
Here, let me have a look at them.
Yeah, be careful with them.
But now, she was with her boyfriend, Stephen Weed.
Barbara Jane Mackle. Chalchilla. Magic words
and
to
now
say.
she's an actress?
Well, yeah, and I think she has a great sense of humor about herself. How amazing that she came through all this and can laugh at it. Why not have some fun with it? Certainly it didn't bring her any fun. She was home doing her homework and she was kidnapped. She was a victim.
Yeah, but now you have them in your movie.
Yeah, but now people don't ask her about that anymore. They ask her about this, so it's a break from all that.
Yeah, well, this is America, right? This is how things work here in America.
Anything's possible. I have a film that's a pro-juvenile delinquent film that's opening at a theater near you through Universal. I feel like singing God Bless America.
Is this like your dream cast?
Oh, certainly, certainly. We have Joey Heatherton, we have Willem Dafoe, we have Troy Donahue.
David Nelson, did I see him?
David Nelson's in it, yes. We have Polly Bergen, somebody for everybody.
Yeah, I know what I was going to ask you. Did Patty Hearst, was she aware that you were in the courtroom while she was on trial?
I told her later.
She had no recollection of you being there?
No, what do you think? I yelled, hey! No.
Yes, I do. I think you did.
No.
Yes, I think you probably did.
I didn't. You had to wait in line for 2 days, though, to get in. And people had, like, birthday cakes for everything. But it was a sad thing because it was a horrible thing she went through.
Well, no, I know that.
So it's over with, you know. So, but now she has a better future. She had an amazing past. Now she's got a great future.
Well, it's interesting. You're an interesting man. You have an odd way of making things seem okay, I guess.
Sure, why not?
Is there another show going on back there? We have to do what? A commercial? Oh, well, I hope the film's a big hit.
Oh, thank you,
Nice
David.
to see you again, John. We'll be right back here. Program, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Youth, Paul.
Yeah, Sonic.
You know what I'm thinking?
You got a nephew who's going to turn 13 soon. Is he going to be bar mitzvahed? All right, like in October?
Maybe.
Yeah.
For the ceremony?
Ask him if they'd like to play the gig.
For the ceremony or the party after?
I think the party.
Maybe right in the chapel.
Party, yeah. Were they actually fighting? Did tempers flare, or was that...
The youth of today have their thing.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Very popular. Sonic Youth. Very popular. Very big. Sonic Youth. Our next guest is responsible for some of the most vile and depraved moments in cinematic history. Naturally, we're always pleased to have him on the program. Ladies and gentlemen, here's John Waters. John? John, what are you doing, buddy?
Oh, worrying like all filmmakers.
What are you worried about?
Well, my next film's ready to go, and I'm just waiting for them to let me announce it, and they won't yet.
And who is they? Why won't they? You're the director?
The studio, because it's the final green light. You know how it goes.
What studio is this?
Well, maybe I shouldn't say it, because they're going to say it soon. Maybe I shouldn't. I think it'll curse it. You know, when something's ready to happen, you don't want to talk about it before it does.
But isn't that good for you, if a project of yours is cursed? Isn't that the way you like to operate?
Well, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But it can be cursed a little bit later, right? Not in the beginning.
Can you tell us anything about the effort? Who's in it? What's the plot?
Well, no, because we don't know who's in it yet. That's what's holding it up. We're
you mean
casting.
It has not been produced yet?
It's been written and everything. It's ready to be shot.
I see. I thought it had been all set, filmed, and ready to go, and they were just waiting to announce the release of it.
I'm not here to promote anything tonight.
Okay. What have you been doing then with yourself?
Besides worrying, you know, I think you should have backup careers, which I've always tried to do a couple of. I was a fashion model recently, if you can imagine that. There's this line of clothes called Comme des Garçons, and they make clothes that look like sort of like bag lady clothes. I mean, this handkerchief is one of their creations. And it was $100. I thought it was a good deal, you know. So they asked me, I said, well, I like their clothes. And they said, will you come to Paris and be in this show? And they said, well, we have this file on you. We know that you wore this jacket to this premiere. And I said, there's like fashion spies, you know. So I went there, and I said, let me wear something conservative, though, because they have like skirts for men. You know, I'm a little old, you know. So we got there.
Your skirt days are over, eh, John?
No, you're right, you know.
I'd still like to see in a pair of culottes, though. Well, I bet you're not too old for that.
This was a sarong, I think. I sort of paled when I saw that in the New York Times. So anyway, I got there, I saw the clothes, I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna be on the cover of Spy magazine, you know. It's like, you know, bell bottoms that came to here, flood pants, you know, hats, the most great look. I mean, all her clothes have big rips in them and holes. In Baltimore, if you take them to the cleaner, they fix them, though. That's the problem.
But seriously, now, open up this handkerchief again. Now, that sells for how much money?
Oh, it was about $100, I think. Good deal, you know, you buy clothes in reverse.
But, I mean, but what is the deal? Is it just something...
Well, it's aesthetically, you know, I mean, you take out, you have a cold, it perks up a cold, you know.
But, you know, we're dead center in the middle of a recession.
Well, yeah.
So who can afford this kind of
thing?
Well,
Newsweek said that these clothes were for suicidal millionaires, is how they described them.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow!
And so I got there, and all the other, they don't use professional models, they use their special people they find off the street. It looked like a mental institution. I walked in. I felt comfortable, at least.
Yeah.
But I saw the clothes, and I thought, I can't wear these. And I thought, just shut up. And people come to make my movies, and they say, I'm not wearing this. I think, oh, just put it on.
Yeah, but the clothing you ask them to wear in your films is the least of it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, you know,
the
it's usually
things you ask them to do,
well,
I think.
the lines they've seen before, you know, they've agreed. I got them there, at least. You know, I don't lie to them and say we're making, you know, ice castles. I mean...
So what is the point of this fashion pursuit? What exactly, where does this leave us? What are we up to?
I think it's... You mean, what do you mean? Oh, well, I just did it because for another career, I got there and I walked down the runway. I felt like Don Knotts. You have a picture, I think, over there.
Hey, I'll run the show, all right, John?
Let me see if I got a...
Hell is that?
That's Sonic Youth. I love them. That was great.
Here's the picture.
Well, you see, the shirt tail...
It looks like a very, very suave, very, very hip Emmett Kelly.
I think it looks like...
It's the new Emmett Kelly, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I think I just look like I came out of a peep show.
Well, who would know better than you what you...
I can't go to Peep Show.
Well, that's great.
David, you know, the truth, I was in a dirty bookshop and somebody goes, I saw you on Letterman. I'm not kidding.
Now, again, clarify that. They didn't see you on me. They saw you on the show.
That's right.
You know who was here, I think it was last Friday night, a couple of weeks ago, Ricky Lake.
Oh, I love Ricky. She's going to be in my new movie, I hope.
She's dropped like 150 pounds.
I loved her big, small, either way.
You know, as I was telling her when she was here, I always thought when she was at her maximum weight, which is, I guess, about 420. I don't know.
Well, no. That was divine.
Oh, divine. Well, how much did Ricky weigh? It was at least 250.
I never really made her get on a scale and prove it. You
Yeah.
know, I don't think it was 250. You got to remember, in our movies, that last one she made, it was the 50s where they had bullet bras, you know, so that's 20 pounds right there.
Well, the one I saw her in, the first one I saw her in was the rock and roll.
Hairspray.
Was that Hairspray?
Yeah.
No, and she looked huge in that, but also very, very cute. I mean, she's a lovely, lovely looking girl.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, she's wonderful, you know, and I'd love to work with her. I think she looks good, big or skinny. To me, it makes no difference, really. I mean, I use her if she weighs 800 or 80. I still like her.
Let's see, what else can you tell us of the new effort? You mentioned you can't really say anything?
No, not about the movie. I can tell you about another career I have.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. I'm
Okay.
sorry. All right. Let's see, we have to do a commercial, kids, then we'll be right back with John Waters. What was that? That was Biff. Why was Biff on there? Is this part of the surveillance camera system? Biff was spotted shoplifting from the set. Let's see. I think we're all finished for another evening. John, always a pleasure, and we'll look forward to some announcement regarding your new production. Nice to see you again. My thanks to Sonic Youth and also Timothy Busfield. Hey, folks, have a lovely weekend and a happy Labor Day. Good night, everybody.